Greetings. My name is Bob Lott, and I am the pastor of family ministries at Sunrise Baptist. We are a middle-sized country church located in Northwest Washington State, up near the Canadian border. I want to share with you something exciting that the Holy Spirit is doing through our children's ministry. The theme of this video is just do what you can. I'm not asking you to do what we are doing. Just do what the Lord leads you to do. Several years ago, I became interested in reaching the unreached people groups in our world. Unreached people are those that have never heard about Jesus. They have not rejected Jesus. They just don't know who he is. A few years ago, David Nelms came to our church for a missions weekend. David is the founder of the Timothy Initiative. Their goal is to work with groups all over the world to finish the Great Commission. They do this by making disciples that continue to reproduce and form churches that continue to multiply. When David Nelms arrived at our church, I was teaching the 3rd and 4th grade boys. He said 4 things that really got myself and our class's attention. First, he said that about 1 out of 3 people in our world have never heard about Jesus. Second, he said that less than 1% of monies given to missions is used to reach the unreached people groups. Thirdly, he said it takes $330 to start a church. And fourthly, every church that is started reaches about 20 people with the gospel of Christ. After David left that weekend, I thoroughly checked out his ministry. I wanted to be sure that the Timothy Initiative was the real deal. I was pleased to find out that it is. The next Sunday, I asked my children's Sunday school class what they wanted to do in light of what we had heard. They said they wanted to give enough money to start one church and to pray for David Nelms. Over the next few weeks, the children began to bring in their money. Soon the other classes joined us, and we were off and running. A few months later, I heard David Nelms' son, Jared, say, "Whatever you are thinking about doing for the Great Commission, think bigger." I could not get this thought out of my head. Soon I got a few friends together and shared that I was going to match what the children gave. They agreed to do the same. Soon others joined us. It was not long before $10 that the children gave became $100. The Timothy Initiative had a donor that agreed to match what we gave. The money kept coming in, and more churches were planted. We did not make any big appeals to the church body. We still don't. TTI is not on our missions budget. The monies given to TTI have not affected our church budget, but God has allowed us to raise up over 250 churches in the last few years. We have just done what we could do, and God has blessed our efforts using our children and our generous friends. I want you to meet our 1st and 2nd grade Sunday school class and hear from their teachers, Judy and Sharon, how God has used TTI to help our children see the importance of reaching the unreached people groups in our world.
So what do we do? Let's show people what we do, all right? So every week we say, bring some money so that we can put it in our church.
And then you know what we do? What do?
We do what we can. And then people who we don't even know in our church, you know what they do?
Double it.
They double it again, and then somebody else does what?
It's double it.
So then, before we know it, we have enough money to start a church, which means to train a pastor, Ellie. That's right.
All I'm asking you to consider is, what would God have you do in reaching our world with the gospel of Christ? We have found that the Timothy Initiative has given us new eyes to see our world. Just think what would happen if hundreds of churches asked this question and began giving what they could to finish the great task that we have been given. Just do what you can. We are concentrating on giving to India and Nepal. The goal is to reach 350,000 villages over the next 10 years.